Hey everyone, my name's Lane Rocks and you've just tuned in to Rocks Manor. Oh, with my co-hosts today, the trash talking pirate, really, and his parrot's pretty bad too, and then this witch who claims to give advice to this crystal ball, but I'll be honest, it's never really been good advice. Yeah, she actually told me to do this YouTube channel, so if you want to blame anybody, you can blame her. No, last night was Halloween, so those are gonna sit here in my office until my husband's able to take them back upstairs into the attic. My office has a big gated fence across the opening of it, so it's kind of like Fort Knox in here. This is usually where we keep the stuff the kids have to stay away from. So either today or tomorrow they'll go back, or maybe after Thanksgiving. Actually, that'd probably be a really cool idea. I might be onto something. Alright, so one of the videos I did last week was in regards to my giraffe obsession, which, side note, the little coffee mug's gone. It's gone. I was unable to retrieve it from the table where it had been left. So we'll see. I have a feeling I'll probably get one for Christmas since I've made enough of a big deal about it. So, but let's see. My friend Jamal, he had wrote a comment on the video that I did last week, and he asked, I'd love to see a video about what it's like to have a large family. What's the organization to have a bigger family? How do you work on private time with you and your husband? These really are 11 things that I have, instilled in our family, or things that we kind of have going on, tips that we can pass on to people. And yeah, here goes. One quick disclaimer, people do know me as frugal, and I will say that these are not the most frugal tips and may not be feasible for everyone or every budget. Those of you who do know me as frugal and otherwise just call me cheap, there are some things that I do kind of a quick cost benefit analysis, or opportunity cost on, like, does it make sense to spend a little bit of extra money, or does it make sense to try to batten the hatches on that? So the first one, it's going to sound kind of odd, but it's finding the losses. So I feel like oftentimes, like parental advice or like family advice and things like that, they're always talking about, you might have a busy week, but find your wins and celebrate those. For me, what's really been helpful is to find the losses. So I look at everything a week out, because we plan our weeks, almost like a month in advance, really. But I look at the week and I'm like, okay, what things am I going to drop the ball on, or what things are I'm likely to drop the ball on? So, but maybe it's something that I need to communicate with my husband that I need his help in, or maybe I need to talk with the kids and tell them where I need them to step up in that area. Or maybe it's a neighbor that can help me out with, giving a ride, or again, I mentioned carpool earlier. So those losses aren't necessarily things that I know are going to be a loss, but they're losses that, maybe I got to call in some backup for something. So that takes me into tip 2, which is to use the kids. I hate that the word is use, because that kind of has a negative connotation, and I kind of rephrase this to lean on the kids or depend on the kids, but that's got a negative connotation too. But basically, we've got 2 older boys. They are, one just turned 13, the other one is about to be 12 in a few weeks. So they are capable of doing things around the house, and I have no qualms with asking them for help, letting them know what needs to be done, whether that's, like a chore that might be something that's going to stay on the board for them to do the next couple of rotations, or it's just something that I holler out for them and ask them to come down and help. The next one is, it's gonna sound crazy, but it's to do more laundry. And this is where I get into the point where I talk about that not everything is for everybody's budget. This is one of those things, like if you're strapped and definitely wanting to make sure that, you keep your water bill low and whatnot, like I've definitely been there as far as like really keeping an eye on how much laundry I'm doing and whatnot. But I'll tell you right now that I have found that it is worth the extra couple bucks a month to make sure that I am doing laundry when it makes sense to do laundry. So that means not feeling tied to, okay, every Thursday I'm gonna do the towels. Like maybe I did towels on Thursday, but then I need to do another load on Monday. Like just trying to keep an eye on things and getting things done as they need to be done, instead of just strapping myself to some type of, calendar and telling myself those are the days that I do those. So doing more laundry also is, for example, the boys, I used to do their laundry together in one load. Now I split that up. So of course, obviously it's not nearly as full, even just doing their laundry once a week, but at least for them, it's a lot more, I don't want to say enjoyable, but it's less of a stress trying to dig through one pile of laundry for them to find whose underwear has an E and whose underwear has an A. Now I just do their laundry kind of like once a week or so, whenever it needs to be done. and I get that done and have that ready for them to take care of. So that's another thing. I don't fold or do anything with the older kids' laundry. I just have them bring the basket down. I run it through the washer, run it through the dryer, and then they actually take it out of the dryer and take it back upstairs. So doing more laundry is one. Another one that rolls right into this is tip 4 is to start the dishwasher. I'm gonna keep this one simple. Basically, if you feel that you are constantly waiting for those extra 4 plates or 2 more cups or whatever it is to fill up the dishwasher so you can justify doing it. I mean, if it's like 2/3 to like 3/4 full, I mean, to me, that's good. Get it done, start the dishwasher, and the next thing you know, you can take those dishes out, you can put them away, and start filling it up again. So for me, waiting for those 4 plates, waiting for those 2 cups or whatever it is that's going to complete it, but then it means that I'm not starting it for another 6 hours waiting for the next meal. It doesn't make any sense because it's way more stress than it's worth, those couple extra bucks a month for the extra couple of loads the quickness that I'm doing the dishes. So and next one, I could do hours worth of videos on this, but it's pretty simple. It's downsize and declutter. You'd be surprised. Like, yeah, we've got 4 kids, but like, how much stuff do they really need? Especially the small ones. I mean, specifically the small ones. It's like, what are they actually playing with? All right, cups and plastic plates and, plastic forks and whatnot, and the same baby doll or whatever. Well, then look at all the rest of the stuff that's sitting around that's constantly getting picked up every single night. Is half of that even stuff that they care about, or they're even paying attention to, or what? Or are they just dumping it out? Downsize and declutter. Get rid of stuff. It feels good. I promise you will not really have any regrets. But it's probably one of the biggest things that I could possibly suggest to people if you have kids especially. Another one is rotational calendar. I used to have, they were just 1 week, right? I had 3 of them, and I would write the week out on them and we would rotate them up. So when this week was done, we erased it and did it, whatever. Now we have a much larger calendar that has 5 weeks all at once, which means that we have to erase and kind of move them up. But that is how we do it. We don't just do one big paper calendar where you're flipping it open and doing the next couple of weeks and months. Rotating it actually has been super helpful for us. The next one is also having a command center, which is simply just another dry erase board. And we have that over by our kitchen table. We write notes to the kids. Sometimes I go to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning after getting work done. So it's I remember, oh yeah, this one's got to remember to take this to school tomorrow. I'm going to remind him. So I write it on there. So sometimes when the kids get up before us and they're down there, we eat all of our meals down at the breakfast table. Before we even come downstairs, they're already seeing that message because they know that's where to look. They also look there when they get home. They also look there on the weekends, whenever we're kind of coming and going. So that command center for us, it's really not as flashy as it sounds as far as having, anything other than it's just a dry erase board where everybody knows to look. Another one is take pictures, and I have to laugh at this because when I was writing out the slides for this last night, I had said take pictures with a subnote that it's better to have a digital dumpster fire than one in your house. And then today, Google sent me a message saying that I needed to clean up my my screenshots folder. I'm always screenshotting cool stuff I see on the internet, so they're just telling me that I have way too much junk pictures. And so take pictures. If there's something you see at a store, you're like, oh man, it's really cool. Do I really need that? Whatnot. Chances are you probably don't. But you can get over the hump of feeling like you need something or that maybe that you need it at home. Just take a picture and you're kind of taking it with you. That sounds like a really weird millennial 2019 answer, I guess, because that's what everybody wants to slap, on there is that, oh, it's a millennial thing. I don't know what it is. I mean, Instagram it, post it on Facebook, whatever you got to do, or just keep it in your phone. Like I do half the time. I got thousands of pictures of stuff that I just thought was cool. And now I'm kind of taking it with me without buying it, off of a clearance end cap at Target. I love you, Target, but I mean, your clearance end caps used to get me. Next one is to use their communication. So this is specifically in regards to my kids. My kids both have phones, and my husband and I have phones. So in no way, shape, or form am I going to be too nervous or pretend like I shouldn't be texting my kids. If there's something I need to communicate with them and it makes sense to do so, even if it means they're upstairs, I will text them. Now, somebody older than me might be saying, oh my goodness, she texts her kids even when they're in the house. Yeah, otherwise, what do you want me to just yell out their name and hope they come down? And then when they come down, I'm trying to tell them what? I could have just texted that to them and told them. We see them all the time. It's not like they just live upstairs and we never see them all day. But if they're not in the general vicinity and I don't feel like hollering out for them, I send them a text. It's legitimately not a big deal. I am not shy about it. I text my kids, okay? Another one is peaches and pits. When Andrew was in the 4th grade, maybe 3rd grade, Mrs. Grant, I think it was, had done this thing in her classroom where it's called peaches and pits. The students would talk about the peaches of their day, which was like something good, and the pit was something that was like not so good. We do that at every single meal here at Rox Manor. That is a great icebreaker for the kids, great icebreaker for the adults too, great icebreaker whenever we have family over, whenever we have friends over. It doesn't matter if they're friends of mine or my husband's from work, or if it's my kids having a friend over from school. We do peaches and pits every time, and it is such a good icebreaker. The reason why I bring this up on being something so helpful for our family is because it's really a good door opener for communication at the table. So instead of like just trying to make up conversations every night, we always start off with peaches and pits, and it kind of just opens the door for a conversation for the rest of the evening. Let's see, another one, this is gonna sound crazy, but here's a big secret for me. I argue with myself. So if something's going on that I like need to talk to my husband about, and I'm like amped up about it, and like maybe I'm even just mad at him, maybe the kids did something, I don't know what, but I argue out loud usually if I can with myself. And the reason that is it's kind of twofold. For one, if it's something really important I need to talk to my husband about, if I speak out loud about it, I feel like I'm preparing my discussionary, like my discussion, my argument before talking to him, which is great because I'm actually formulating and I'm formatting what it is that I'm trying to say before I'm in the heat of the moment. And by heat of the moment, I don't mean arguing. I just mean like, you know, I might be passionate about something, or maybe I am upset about something, but saying it out loud first is definitely a really good preparatory way to communicate with my husband. So then on top of that is like, maybe I'm upset about something, I just need to vocally get it off my chest, right? So I feel one heck of a lot better when the time does come for me to talk to my husband or talk to the kids or whatever, because I've already gotten that kind of like negative energy out first before then communicating with them and maybe saying something that I shouldn't have said or been rude or short or whatever it is. I take that time away from them, being my husband or my kids, to kind of, I don't want to say practice because that sounds weird, but to kind of just hear myself out by like speaking, right? Let's see, so one more, this is actually number 12, and I said there's only 11, so I don't have a slide for it, but here's your bonus tip. About a year or two ago, I got a wireless doorbell. And the doorbell that goes ding dong, it plugs up into the wall, and we put that upstairs in the game room. The button that I press is above our refrigerator. If I'm cooking dinner and something needs to go on, like somebody needs to come set the table or somebody needs to feed the dogs or whatever, I ring that doorbell. So mind you, those two things are not things that necessarily need to be done exactly right now. So if I have something that like could use a couple of minutes, not a big deal, I ring that doorbell. The boys upstairs hear that doorbell and they know to look at their watches, and they've got 5 minutes to come downstairs. To me, I feel like this is respectful of their time and whatever activity they may be doing, because they're human beings, right? They get involved in stuff, they're doing whatever. It allows them to time manage themselves to then come down. Anyway, those are my 11 tips plus a bonus tip. If you like this type of video, let me know down in the comments if you have any other questions, suggestions, things that you'd like to see, or you know, just if you like videos like this, just let me know. Definitely hit like on this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you hit the bell so that you get notifications. I appreciate you stopping in, and I'll see you on the next video. All right, bye. These two jackalopes will be going up into the attic later on this afternoon, but for now they're in my office because this is the one really gated off like Fort Knox area of the house, so other than the garage. But they definitely weren't gonna go in the garage. Matter of fact, you may be able to hear some rumbling. My husband's out in the garage right now working on a vehicle, so if you hear that in the background, that's what that is. That leads right into starting the dishwasher. One of my, I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's my husband driving by. I hope the video picked that up. That's funny. As he peels out just about in our driveway. So yeah, so starting the dishwasher, one of the biggest things that was a big change for me in the last year was not waiting for, you know, a couple more plates or a couple of more spoons or things to fill up the dishwasher.